Hello, I'm speaking on behalf of Saul Guerrero. This English recording is a paraphrased version of Saul's presentation from November 12th based on the French translation. We'll be discussing the key elements contributing to the malnutrition and wasting of children. We have to have universal ideas for a problem that is universal. The main reason that the Secretary General of the UN asked all of the agencies working on malnutrition to concentrate on wasting is that there is a clear objective to reduce wasting in children to less than 5% by 2025 and less than 3% by 2030. However, we've only seen a marginal reduction in the worldwide total of emaciated children so far. What we have seen since 2013 is that other things have been happening that have prevented us from reducing rates of malnutrition. So now we are trying to get back to the advice and find better ways to combat this problem and confront the base cause of malnutrition and wasting, because what we have been doing has not been working. As previously mentioned, the conceptual framework has existed for a long time, and what we can all agree on is that wasting depends on many factors. Many things need to be well done to avoid wasting, but only one thing needs to go wrong in order to result in wasting. This is one of the challenges that interventions have to deal with. This isn't new information. We've known this for a long time, and this has already shaped how we think about wasting. However, it hasn't always defined how we act to prevent malnutrition. Now, part of the response is that the entry point into wasting for humanitarian action has resulted in an overemphasis on services and programs rather than on systems, national networks, and institutions. We have been focusing on ad hoc interventions rather than systemic ones. In doing so, we have failed to put in place predictable, sustainable solutions to address the systematic drivers that contribute to persistent wasting. What has happened is that we have not put in place a system that addresses the causes of malnutrition systematically. We need a universal solution that is systemic and works against all of the forms of malnutrition. We have seen wasting fall behind on systemic approaches to address undernutrition and global/national multi-systemic strategies and responses. It is very, very important for us to fight against that from happening in this new effort. There's a gap in what we have done. We failed to ensure that all of the drivers contributing to malnutrition are addressed all of the time. We have not been working in a systematic and sustainable way. So what we have begun doing for the Global Action Plan is working on a fundamental change in how we work. First and foremost, in the geographic space, there needs to be systemic responses and programs concentrated across all of the most vulnerable and at-risk places. There are services available in some parts of a country and different services available in other parts of the country, and that does nothing on a systematic level. All of the services need to be working towards the same objective for a long-term sustainable plan across the entire country. We cannot use one type of service one year and a different intervention the next year. It's impossible to give the same intervention to the entire population, but we know which areas are the most important to receive these same services, so we can concentrate on the zones with the most elevated risks. Finally, this plan of action on wasting has 4 key outcomes. 1, on reduced incidence of low birth weight. 1, on improved child health, improved infant and young child feeding, and finally, improved treatment of children with wasting. None of these things will be realized, though, without mobilizing all of the systems in place. There needs to be a real change in the way we address malnutrition, but that is only the beginning. The real change will happen at a country level and will depend on the actions prioritized by the operational roadmaps in the 23 frontrunner countries. Those choices will determine whether or not we are ultimately able to see a truly multi-systemic response to wasting. Responses that are capable of sustainably addressing the drivers that today contribute to persistently high levels of wasting in many parts of the world. Thank you.